Alrighty. They ended about a minute early today, but we are live from Columbus, OH, and this is the Ramsey Show Aftershow. Alrighty. We have audio check complete. What up, Sid? How is life and stuff? On a lovely Memorial Day weekend, and it is, it's 53 degrees now. Little nippy for going into a Memorial Day weekend. You're watching this on youtube.com/coachstevemoney. I'm a Ramsey Solutions certified financial coach, and for my financial content, just scroll past the Oak Island playlist and you see the Ramsey Show Aftershow playlist. Today is show number 552, and there's 138 episodes in the Answering Your Financial Questions playlist, and there are 12 Ramsey adjacent songs in the music playlist, such as what is it? No spending money to seem cool. Dun, dun. When you're on baby step down. That is the newest one. Singing not my regular job. I don't know if you could tell that from my singing just now. But if you're so inclined, go ahead and take a listen to those. You might enjoy those songs. And some people, after they hear them, they can't get those lyrics out of their head. And when it comes on at the grocery store, they think of my lyrics instead of the original lyrics. And so that's fun for me. What up, Trey? Mama call him Trey. Daddy call him Trey. I call him Trey. What do you got in the tea house, Trey? How hot is it there? Market report. Dow futures tumbled 500 points as Trump threatens, I guess, new tariffs. I believe is what that says. And that's gonna happen. Overreaction from the market, as always. Mid to high 90s. Alrighty. Yeah, would I make that? It was 85, it would be no contest. I would to give you that immediately. But when you start getting in 90s, that is a little bit too warm. And I can always get a blankie if I need to. Let's see what the rest of the planet is looking like. Down in Europe, mostly up in Asia. See what the US dollar is looking like. Down to the euro, down to the yen, down to the British pound, love, down to the Canadian dollar, and also down to the Australian dollar, mate. So a clean sweep for the world against the United States dollar. Oh, let's see. Are there any of the top followed stocks on the Google up? They are not. Imagine that. And of course, the market just opened, so anything could happen throughout the day. We don't know. Lot of time left in the day for people to do things for traders to overreact to. Let's look at the headlines. Tariffs live updates. Trump threatens Apple with 25% tariff if iPhone's not made in U.S. All right. And reasonable. If you're going to have a tariff on stuff from overseas, hey, guess what? That's overseas. Well, not necessarily. It could be made in Canada, I guess, or Mexico, and that's not over a sea. But that is not in the U.S. though. But anything not in the U.S., that's reasonable. If you're going to have tariffs on things outside of the U.S. and that's made outside of the U.S. More consumers are buying now and paying never. A new warning sign. Well, that's not. I don't know that one. I know buy now pay later is a thing, but the buy now and pay never, does that just mean it like becomes debt and stays into debt? Let's check that one out. That one wasn't there before. From Yahoo Finance, more consumers are buying now and never paying never. A new warning sign. And there's your, what do they have? Klarna, StubHub, Chime, Circle, and Hinge Health. I don't know. Oh, this is just might just be an ad thing because StubHub is for tickets, and so I mean I guess they may have a thing. StubHub may have some kind of thing where they let you pay over time. It's possible for tickets, and you got to do that if you're going to go see like T Swizzle, for example. Really expensive tickets. Let's just see. I just want to see if this actually means reported that consumer credit losses rose 17% for the first quarter compared to the same period last year. Okay. So whatever percentage it was that they, I mean, and Klarna hasn't been in business that long, I don't think. So how long do you let the customer credit, which that's debt that they have extended, they've loaned the money basically, so somebody can get a burger. And so how long do they let it sit before they say that it's a loss? Okay, let's see. And that even as revenue rose to over 700 million, net losses doubling it to 99 million. All right. I mean, and that may be acceptable to them if that's a overall, you know, you can say that's revenue 700, and so the losses are just the cost of doing business. But as that keeps getting up, that's going to be more trouble. Some Swedish company, I did not know it was Swedish. A Klarna, I don't know. Maybe that means something in Swedish. Big ticket items make routine personal interest free payment plans and not partnership with DoorDash. We know they did that. Okay, yeah, but that's exactly what it means. That you do it by now, pay later. And, you know, I mean, I would assume that most people would be able to do this. I don't know that it does a credit check when it does that. So interesting. Interesting. Maybe they'll start having to do that and do a quick credit check on you. Interesting. Traces the price of the iPhone will go up way more than 25% if they start making them here. That much is certain. Almost certain anyway. Yahoo. Oh, I did that one already. CNET. Zyrtec and Zyzal flagged by FDA for new side effect. How to know when to see your doctor. Definitely don't tell me what the side effect is. Here, make me have to click on it. Not going to do it. Not going to do it. Palantir CEO Alex Karp sells more than $50 million in stock. Okay, and you do have to wonder about that. Maybe he just needed the money. Maybe I had to play off some Klarna, pay off some cheeseburgers. Wall Street Journal, big banks explore venturing into crypto world together with joint stable coin. All right. I'm surprised that's not a thing already. I'm surprised there's no government virtual currency already. CNBC, how Nashville transformed from Music City into a booming business hub. Because people move there away from California and other cities. Newsweek, hundreds of gold miners trapped underground, rescue underway. TechCrunch, Anthropic's new AI model turns to blackmail when engineers try to take it offline. Alrighty. And Fox Business, fast food workers must work nearly an hour to afford meals they serve. Yeah, because those combo meals are expensive, and that's why I don't ever get those. I get one item, and mostly like the $2 or less cheeseburger. When I get there, sometimes they have whatever savings the app is offering, that kind of thing. At the Sonic is good for that, although they have been less forthcoming in that. They have reduced the amount of savings on some of the things anyway. So I guess that's it for market report. What kind of news do we have? No, already did that one. There we go. Dr. Beach names the top 10 U.S. beaches of 2025. So it's not, when I clicked on it, I thought it was going to be like a survey. It's not, it's just one guy's opinion, but he apparently is a coastal scientist and professor known as Dr. Beach, and this is his list. And it would be Cooper's Beach in Southampton, New York. Walia. Yeah, Walia Beach, something like that. Walia. Don't know how to pronounce it, but Maui. So Waili, yeah. Maui, Hawaii. Okay. Poipu Beach in Kauai. No, Kauai. I don't know how to pronounce that one either. Hawaii, Donor Wiggins Pass State Park in Naples, Florida. A hit of rainstorms ain't nothing to mess with. Main Beach in East Hampton, New York. Beachwalker Park in Kiyo Island, South Carolina. St. Andrews State Park in Panama City, Florida. Kana Kanao. I should have read this ahead of time and checked the pronunciations of these. Kanawa, Big Island, Hawaii. Lanikai Beach, Oahu, Hawaii. And Coast Guard Beach, Cape Cod, Massachusetts. That's an interesting name for the beach. Coast Guard. What else do we have? From the BBC. Denmark to raise retirement age to highest in Europe, and that is 70 by 2040. Since 2006, Denmark has tied the official retirement age to life expectancy and has revised it every 5 years. Currently 67, but will rise to 68 in 2030 and to 69 in 2035. So they're making it go up more. And then so that's makes it take longer until you can access your pension. And so that's why you would also want to instead, or in addition to it, you would also want to have your own retirement account. Study finds revolutionary contact lenses. Let humans see the invisible. That's like, yeah, in the dark. Infrared lenses now allow you to see in the complete darkness without night vision devices. So that's fun. I mean, if I woke up and saw that, I would probably be, the first time anyway, I would probably freak out. Just a little bit, though. Boop, boop, boop. Trey's a feeling that guy has not been to every beach in the U.S., so his list is flawed. That could be. That could easily be the case, Trey. Oh, let's see. Looking to survive, exchange equity of house for rent. My mother's weird offer. All right, and this is definitely more than a one paragrapher. So let's see. We don't need that. So did I open that already? But I opened that one already. All right, I must close it if I opened it already. Yeah, that's that. Okay. All right, well, let's open it again. Thought I had that ready to go. Alrighty. So, alright, that's a lot of text. But let's see what's going on. You know, what would Dave do? Probably not take a weird offer, but let's see. I've tried calling the Ramsey show for direct advice, but I can never get on and have never been contacted for some reason. Well, most times, if you leave a message, they don't call you back. I would think it would be very rare because they get plenty of calls, so they can easily take calls for the ones that are come in at the time, and that way they don't have to try to call you later and work that out. So let me post it here, right? Which doesn't get, it's not run by Ramsey Solutions. The subreddit is run by fans. So my father passed away a few months ago due to heart failure, and I am the only child that he is close to. So he had me as the inheritor of everything. Awkward wording, okay, including his house, business, investments. The sole inheritor. My mother, whom my father had divorced 20 years ago for infidelity, asked me that since I live in another state due to work, if she and my estranged sisters could move into my father's home, which also happens to be my childhood home. The reason they want to move in because my father's house is much better, and because of memories, and also because they want to move in for because it's free, or either it'll be cheaper, they hope, than anywhere else. Let's see, at first I refused for personal and family reasons, mostly because I'm estranged from them and cut them off due to their toxic behavior. Yeah, that would be a no for me. Long story short, my mother has never held herself accountable for her yeah, and so that doesn't seem like that would be a good idea. So interested in see what the offer is going to be. And my sister took her side years ago. Okay, and that explains that. My father and I had barely contacted them over the years, despite their incessant pleas to reconcile, mostly to get money for education. Yeah. Then my mother came to me with a strange offer. If I let her and my sisters move into my father's home rent free, she would give me 50% of her current home's equity and give me the rest of the equity when she passes away. No, not doing that. That's going to be a nar for me. Where were we? Where was that? Oh, when she passed away. So I would be getting two more homes, or at least one and a half homes. Yeah, I'm not. I'm not doing that. I mean, even if, I mean, you would have to like employ a lawyer to check on all the paperwork on that to make sure that's exactly what happens. And the problem with that, if she's leaving you that in the will, she can always change it. There's nothing that stops it from being changed. Um, Even if she does do her will up to be like that, and your lawyer checks it, she could change it later. So this is a no. This is, I mean, even when you have a great relationship with family, doing dumb crap like this is not a good idea. Is this some weird thing? Yeah. Or giving me the equity for a home in exchange for rent-free stay. Yeah, why doesn't she just stay in her house then? Especially ironic, a little too ironic. Since she bought that home using the money that my father paid her for her share of the equity after their divorce, and not to look a gift at a gift horse in the mouth, her property, which is like an acre of land, not actually an acre of land, it's like an acre, maybe just not quite an acre, but close to it. In the middle of it is, with a house in the middle of it, is valued much less than my father's property. Her property is currently valued at $526,000, while my father's is around 1.2 million. So, but that's her and her sister's moving in too. So when she passes away, are you going to be able to get the sisters out of there? Are they going to pay you rent at that point? So it's just all nutty, and so that's going to be a no for me, Doug. But getting equity right off the bat doesn't sound too bad if I can sell it to pay off my current mortgage, which I have about 150K left. And like I said before, two houses versus one house. Oh, she would sell it and give you half of the money. Well, you could, yeah, could require the sale to happen first before you let them in to that house, I guess. So it's still, I mean, I'm not gonna, if I'm estranged from family like you are from them, I'm not all of a sudden gonna start doing business dealings with them. Thanks for your comments. I've been told unanimously not to allow my mother, and I fully, heartedly agree. Yeah, except when you were saying, "Oh, well, getting over equity doesn't sound too bad." I just told my mother that I won't allow her because I don't trust her or my sisters. Yeah, that's a good reason. Now I'm trying to get a remote exception at work so that I can work remotely. Okay, we'll be moving my family into the house. All right, and if that doesn't work, I will have to sell the house or rent it out to someone I trust. Yeah, and I wouldn't necessarily again become a landlord just because you get left a house. That is not for most people to do. It's not something most people should do. And most people should just sell it. But of course, you could try being a landlord if you want. Alrighty, so yeah, it's not so. I mean, that I guess is not that weird of an offer. It's weird because of the situation that you're estranged from her already and your sisters. So why you would want to be involved with them in anything, especially something to do with money, that just is begging for trouble. Oh, let's see. Trey said hard pass on letting your toxic mom and sisters live in the house your dad left you. She's burning through her money, so there's nothing left. And once they're in, they get renters or squatter rights, even, right? I was thinking about that. It's like it might be hard to get him out. They will run that place into the ground, expect him to pay for repairs. Only exception to this, if you move there and find your dad is haunting it, then you let mom move in. Good advice. Good advice, Trey. That would be fun. And you got to hook up cameras in there too, so you can catch them being haunted. Lonely user 123. All here. Let's say I pay $13.90 a month on my mortgage with 2.9 interest rate. Is it worth selling to get out of the city I live in to move into a better city for my kids to have a better education? I'd be looking at around 375 to 400K with 20% down. It's going to be more expensive. I live in Waterbury, Connecticut, and make about 120 single income household. Only debt is a car loan. So you would sell the one house and get another one that's more expensive. That's a lot more expensive. 120K, you don't make enough for that, sir. So that'd be what, 240 and six. So that's like 300K is your which if 20% down, if you could get the mortgage down to 320K or less, or yeah, 300K is your max that you can have as a mortgage, and that would probably be pushing it. But you can't do that and all before you get rid of the car loan. So that's a no for me. And this whole thing about a better education, how do you know it's a better education? So I understand they do studies on this. They say, this area has good schools, this area doesn't. And how do you know for sure? It might be just a lot of people like to lead with, maybe wanting to move for some other reason, and then just is leading with the kids to have a better education, because they're fronting about it. They're trying to justification station they're wanting to move, but that's too expensive of a house. You're looking at too expensive of a house. And so if the better education is gonna include you buying too much house, especially while you have a car loan as well, that's gonna be a no for me, and I feel fairly confident that it's gonna be a no per Mr. Ramsey as well. Not bad money. The system is just built to drain you. Here are a few sneaky ways to earn more money with minimal effort. I wonder what ad this is going to be for. Some kind of debt relief, maybe. No. A sleep court, $28.90. Thanks to Dave. My wife and I are finally debt free. Well, you're the ones that did it. He just gave you the idea. We just paid off her last student loan after eating rice and beans for a year. We used the Every Dollar app, and it's made a world of difference. Time to start saving for our first house. Baby step 2 flare. No, you're not. You're on baby step 3. Congratulations. This is a test _5. All the other underscores under there too. I just didn't say them. What to do with sudden net worth boost? You don't do anything with net worth boost. Now, if you get actual cash from something, you would apply that to whatever baby step you're on. Because say your home equity goes up, you do not use that. You do not tap the equity in the form of a home equity line of credit or anything like that. So that's a no on that. So let's see what kind of dumb crap this is. And I'll apologize later if I need to. My net worth has gone up quite a bit, but my wife and I are expecting twins. Okay. Why is that a but in there? Both of these things can happen at the same time. And they're not the opposite of each other. We live in New England, Massachusetts. And childcare is outrageous. Yep. $3,500 a month for doing it. Yep. Because of this, my budget is a bit tight, but it does not need to be. My budget's a bit tight, but it does not need to be. But I will explain further on. Okay. He enjoys the word but. Too many buts in the first 2 sentences. We both make good money. $240,000 minimum income. $260K if all of my bonus is made. And I'm maxing my 401k and backdoor Roth. My mortgage is approximately $58.50 a month at a 6% interest rate. Bought last year with an outstanding balance of $762,000. Now the plan had been to put a down payment enough to drop our mortgage down to $500K or lower, but once we moved in, it was one thing after another that led to $116K. Okay, so if you moved in already, you already put the down payment in. So that's not it's not called a down payment. I mean, I guess it brings the balance down, but that's just you're paying extra on the mortgage is what you're talking about. Led to $116,000 in housework. Well, that sucks. And let's say it was one thing after another. Now, did that stuff have to be done? Was it a leaking faucet, or was it you didn't like that, whatever, you didn't like the way that room looked and you want to do a remodel on it? That's two different things. It spooked me along with finding out my wife was pregnant with twins, so I did not recast the loan and held on the cash temple. Oh, you're doing a recash with that down payment. Okay, a recast, and I see, and redoing it that way. Okay. Now my budget leaves me with approximately a $10,000 surplus. Again, this has nothing to do with net worth. None of the stuff that he's talking about has nothing to do with net worth. Approximately $10,000 surplus per year, not accounting for any raises and being conservative with monthly non-fixed bills. Cost, I recently drastically increased my net worth and am sitting on a little over $500,000 in cash, in 4-week T-bills, and all that scheming and scamming, not recommended. And about $1.9 million in invested, not including our 401k Roth. Okay, and so you're doing it wrong. So again, it's not the net worth boost, but it's that you're doing it wrong, and you put money in investments that's beyond retirement instead of paying off the house, so you did not do the baby steps correctly. Now, of course, I don't want to liquidate all of my cash, but what would be the best strategy with all this money in terms of the mortgage? Again, nothing to do with net worth boost. Has nothing to do with it. You are nutty, sir. To be that high or earner, you don't understand what net worth is. You should definitely liquidate cash. I mean, you're sitting on $500K in cash in 4-week T-bills. Dumb. So what you do is you liquidate whatever you have to liquidate. That's not a retirement account. And then you would pay off the house. How much cash should you keep on the side? None. You keep your emergency fund and any other sinking funds of things you need, but you don't keep cash just laying around. You can invest those. Not necessarily T-bills, maybe high yield savings account, but you can do that, but that's only after you don't have a mortgage payment anymore. You're doing it wrong. How much of any of my investment should I sell to put? All of it. All of it except the retirement, and so that's 1.9 million, so and 500K, so that's 2.4 million dollars that you'll have in the 4 weeks after the T-bills mature. And so you can pay off the house, so you pay off the freaking house. What you do after that, I don't care. You can do all the scheming and scamming and all the dumb stuff you want to do. That's fine. But get to step 7 first. Or should I keep the mortgage as is and just gamble that I will be able to refinance in the near future at a lower interest rate? You know what a better interest rate would be? 0 when you freaking pay it off, you idiot. My goodness, people are nutty. And it's not, you're not using your net worth for anything. You're not doing anything with the net worth boost. You're doing money with your dumb investments that you did in addition to retirement. So, nutty person. Richie, but a nutty person. All the home bonus are wired. Oh, whole house would have to be wired for video and sound. I want it to look like one of those paranormal activities movies from 20... You know, I never saw that. I should watch that this weekend. Never saw it. Teresa, if you have to liquidate it, then it's not cash, it's tied up. Correct? Correct. But easily liquidated. Just got to wait on the T-bills. You know, if you want to leave the T-bills, fine. Take it all out of the freaking $1.9 million in extra investing that you should never have done in the first place. Probably just should have paid cash for the freaking house. You're on the Dave Ramsey subreddit. He's the no debt guy. Stop being dumb. Jameson T97 selling car. I have $20,000 left on a vehicle loan and want to get it. The last guy could pay off your $20,000 car too, and probably wouldn't even miss it. The car is worth, except his net worth would go down, and then he would have a problem with it. The car is worth $28,000 to $30,000 private party sale. Well, that's good. Would I be better off getting a personal loan to pay off the car loan and get the title? Or just list the car and hope someone is willing to go through my bank for the sale? They don't have to go through your bank. They just have to get you the money. They just have to give you a check for that amount of money. Preferably cashier's check would be better for that. So you can do that. You can do that however you want to. But you getting a loan to get the title and then them taking a loan as well, you don't have to do that. You can give them the title after you get it, after you pay off the house. You do not need to give them the title immediately after selling. Famous Imagination 9. Newlyweds looking for money advice. Hi everyone. Hi guys. My husband and I got married last September. We are now looking into combining our finances. I will be taking care of the finances primarily, okay, which I don't mind, as my husband has admitted that he is not good with keeping money. Alrighty, well, hopefully you've had plenty of money conversations before you got married. I was wondering what the best options are. Soon we'll be taking over my parents' mortgage, which has about 170K left. Not always a great idea to do that. That might be dumb as crap too. But we'll be buying out my sister for 200K, leaving it at around 370K. We thought about adding our loan and credit debt to the mortgage to make it one big monthly payment. No. And cutting the cards until we are mostly paid off. Cutting the cards until we are mostly paid off. And then you're going to uncut them? I don't get it. Husband's. Alright, let's see. Husband's salary 57, wife's salary 51. 2 car loans, credit card debt. What's the best way to pay off the debt the quickest? What does monthly spending look like? What's the ideal way of combining the ideal way? Oh, ideal maybe, supposed to be. Ideal way to combine our finances. You just put all the money in one account. And anything that would be savings, so you refer to the baby steps. So baby step 1, save $1,000 for starter emergency fund, and that's all you have for savings. So any savings you have above that go immediately to debt, and what you do is you take this list, and the lowest debt would be this 11K. And I don't know if that's a credit card debt, maybe. That might be on different ones, and so you can list it out by each individual lender, each credit card company, and you pay them off smallest to largest. Because we don't do this anymore. This is not done anymore. The ideal way to combine finances is to say our salary is 108K per year. Our debt is 30 plus 41 is 71, 84, and 95. Yeah, 95K. That's our debt. And then you list out the debts, not by who they were originally from, but smallest to largest, all of them, and that's how you pay it off. And the best way to pay off the debt the quickest is you don't spend that money on anything else. And I don't know necessarily that this house you're going to be buying out your sister for 200K, which has about 170K left, but we'll be buying out my sister for 200K, leaving it at around. So you're borrowing 200K to do that, and so then you have to pay 170 on top of the that. And so let me ask you this: for 370K, can you get a better house than that one in your area? So you should definitely be looking around for that, and not just doing freaking business with family or friends just because they have a house that they want to sell. Where are the parents moving to also as well? So I have plenty of questions for these newlyweds, and so that they don't do anything dumb. But yeah, hopefully they had a better conversation previously. they had more conversation previously about the money thing, other than one conversation in which he said he's not good with keeping money. So hopefully that's not a thing. They have too much in vehicles. Oh, right, because this one, okay, yeah. Yep, Trey right about that. NXBRPE, how to keep salesmen interested when I'm paying cash. I'm unfortunately having to buy another vehicle due to recent auto accident. Thankfully, my emergency fund will cover the purchase without being completely drained. Last time I bought a car with debt, I'm aware a lot of dealerships make their money using their finances. How do I strategize negotiating a deal when I'm paying cash, or do they even care one way or the other? They do, because they want to make the most money, and they oftentimes make more money with the financing than they do on the car sale itself. Also, I do fully tend to look for private sellers as well. Great, and you should probably go that way. That's probably almost always going to be the better deal there. I'm just asking in the event I find what I'm looking for at a dealerships. Well, what you do is you be prepared to walk. If they you don't have to keep them interested. You just have to have them sell to you regardless. And if they say they're not going to sell it to you, you say, okay, you have a good day. There's a lot of fish in the sea, a lot of cars in the state. And so I will check with a person that wants my business. And you just bounce. That's the main thing. You have to be willing to bounce from the car lot there, instead of saying, okay, I'll finance it. Dumb. Don't tell them you're paying cash until you do. Yeah, and sometimes I've seen like stories where they wait until the last second to tell them that they are paying cash, and then they redo the thing. Then they have to redo the bill, so that the car is higher, which that sucks. But again, that would be when I would bounce. And I would say, I would spin move. I would spin move and go out the door. Where in the baby steps does a house purchase come in? Well, the preparing for the house purchase, you should have baby steps 1, 2, and 3 completely done already. And the emergency fund has nothing to do with the down payment. That is the step after the emergency fund. It's called baby step 3B. And you can pause investing or not even start investing for 2 years while you save up a larger down payment faster, if you would like to do that. Otherwise, your percentage that's going to down payment and the percentage that's going into investing for retirement, it should be no more than 15, but you can do lower than 15 again for up to 2 years, and it can even be 0% investing while you save up a larger down payment faster. So that's where it would be. Step 3B. After completing step 3, emergency fund. Great, so you're right there. At what point would a baby stepper put a down deposit on a home? What are the general rules? Thank you. Well, you got to save that up, and if you had that saved already, you should have been out of debt. And maybe that's what they did. Maybe they had a bunch of money saved up for down payment, and maybe they used some of that down payment money to pay off debt and to do the full emergency fund. But that's where you would do that. And the general rule on the house purchase, and it's not a general rule, it's just the advice I guess in general, it's the advice that the house mortgage payment should be no more than 25% of your household take home pay. So yeah, a lot of people want to still have non-mortgage debt, and and not a full emergency fund, they want to buy a house anyway, and that's not advised for sure. Trey says about cars, and they also do a lot of your vehicle research online for weeks beforehand. Yeah, look at the vehicle listings online to narrow down targets. Let them get the best possible offer, then pay cash and watch them squirm. Yep. Yep. Too bad. Too bad. But yeah, some of them will just, they'll rip up the thing and say, well, we got to do a new offer now, a new quote now, because you're not financing. Throw away PayPay. Should I go back to renting? Single 40 female and have a mortgage with about 190K left. House is worth about 500K. Mortgage is my only debt. Due to large property tax and insurance increase, my current payment is now up to $2,900 monthly. All right. Let's see, I try to do some things myself, but when I add in the other maintenance related bills, AC services, fixing issues, tree trimming, etc., I start to question whether continuing to own is a good idea. Maybe not. Depends on take home is 6,800. So yeah, that's gonna be too much. That's too much in house payment. So that's not, and that's even that's just the house payment itself, not with anything that any of these AC services, fixing issues, tree trimming, etc., etc. So yeah, that's too much house for you. You don't necessarily have to rent, but you have to get a smaller house payment. So move it. You can do a house still, but let's see, the townhome in the area for around $1,500. See what kind of smaller house you can get. How about that? Once my home was paid off, my taxes and insurance would still be around $1,300 a month and rising fast. Am I making a mistake by continuing to own this house? Yes. Am I better off selling? Yes, because it's too much house for you. It always was. But now you're really feeling it because of the associated cost with that. So, and you're on baby step 6 though, so that's great. So you just got to get a different house. I would buy a smaller house. Get a mortgage on a smaller house. Sell that one, and that's a lot of, what is it, down payment on it? 190, and it's worth about 5. Yeah, so that will give you like 3,000 or 300,000 to put down on the next one, and so should be able to pay that off very quickly as well. So yeah, just move down in house. But I mean, you're gonna have maybe some of the same maintenance bills as well, and also homeowner association will take a bite as well. But that's up to you. If you don't want to play the mortgage game and have all these associated costs, and you just want a landlord to take care of it, that would be fine. But I would think about at least going into a different house and lowering that housing payment, so that it's at most 25% of your take-home pay, which it's more than that now, even before you have all the other problems with that, all the other maintenance, etc., etc. No mission is impossible. And of course it's a mission impossible. The Final Reckoning commercial, very nice. Prestigious Spray 237. Having money doesn't solve all problems, but it does solve a lot of them. Sure. I'm 28 man and went to college and got a good paying job, threw everything at my debt for 2 years and got debt free. Great. Bought a house and have a net worth of around 500K. I did nothing crazy to get here. I haven't vacationed in 10 years. Some people would think that is crazy. I don't. Some people would. Mainly due to not having a partner to go with. Okay. I love money, security, and I'm hoping to build a house in the next 3 years. Now that I have money, I am left with tasks money can't buy, such as finding a spouse. Yep. And loosening up on savings so much. Money's not everything, but sure is nice to buy whatever the hell I want. Sure. I mean, everything you said was fine there. I don't have any problem with that being fine. Now, a spouse may be attracted by a lot of money, but that should not be the reason that becomes your spouse. A hen 1999 extra payment question. My private loans are X amount with launch servicing. High numbers. All right. Okay. All right. We don't care about any of that because that's getting into the weeds, and that's like I'll look at the numbers if we have to know exactly what the number is. What in the world? Job number 2, I would ballpark. I make about 300 a week from it. Okay. Paid off my credit card yet? Great. Doesn't matter what the credit is sitting at. It could be standing as well. Submitted LendKey application to refinance and consolidate both loans at like 744. Okay. No, refinancing is not advised. Just pay it off. My question, yeah, I want to put extra towards loan. What? Why is it a loan number that has that high of a number? What in the world is that? That's not your loan number. Is that the company's loan number? Or some kind of weird system that you have, bro? That's crazy. Debt avalanche style, and that's a no. But how should I allocate my job to funds when submitting payments? You don't have to think about it from the... See, this is where people are so nutty. People are so nutty. So you see, you have a job here, and you have a job there. So you got 2 jobs, and that's great. Because that lets you make extra money, okay? What you do not have to do, and people get it into their head, that, oh, well, I have to do this with job 1 money and this with job 2 money. Guess what? Once you put it in the same bank account, which if you're not doing that, that's nutty. Once you put that in the same bank account, it doesn't matter what freaking job it came from. So quit being stupid. Quit being dumb. That's so dumb. To lock yourself into that kind of thinking. And that happens with a lot. A lot of people do that about a bunch of stuff. A lot of calls come in over the Ramsey airwaves that are just like that, where they say something along those lines there, like that, well, this has to be like that. No, it doesn't have to be like that. You just decided that for some reason. So that's going to be a no. You would put everything extra from both jobs into the smallest debt if you're following the Ramsey advice. If not, you can do whatever the heck you want to do and think about your little system that you're using now. Obviously, you're not confident in it, or you wouldn't have freaking asked about it on the Reddit, would you? How should I accolate this? Okay, that's a different word. You need allocate. Should I do 60 to... No, you do all of the extra to the smallest amount, is what the Ramsey advice is, but you can do whatever dumb crap you want to do. I put the money towards this you can send them money as often as you want to, that's fine. So hoping that interest stays below 16 each. LOL. So for now, I feel like I should just split the payments. No, that is not the advice. You, of course, can do it your dumbass way if you would like to keep doing that. For sure. Nutty people. People are nutty. Getting stuff in their minds and their little minds. They say, well, this has to come out of this job payment, job earnings. And this part has to come out of this job earnings. So people are nutty. Nutty, 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 nutty. Since it's a job, 2 money went straight into the savings account. Right, and it shouldn't have done that because we don't do that either. All of your, you have $1,000 as your start emergency fund and you don't have any other savings while you have non-mortgage debt, which you do. And so all of that would be going, you don't need for that to go into savings. You have that going to regular checking account and so you're doing it wrong. Live Butterfly 8739 having a proud moment. Since the beginning of the year, I've been really motivated to pay off my debt. I have 11 credit cards. That's a lot of credit cards. Only one with a balance. All right, then why do we have the other 10? Cut them up. Close the accounts. My car loan and student loans from January 1st, February 26th, I was able to pay $11,386. That's good. Where'd all that money come from? Making a lot of money? Work slowed down for March and April, but I've been able to pay off another $5,000 since then. Great. Doing well. So it's May 22nd, and I paid off over $16,000. It's a really good feeling. I had to share wherever you're at in your journey. Keep plugging along. It's worth it. Baby step 2, flare. And it most certainly is. You're doing a great job. Doing a great job. You can always take another look at your budget and say, do I need this? Am I absolutely doing the best way you can? And that way you keep yourself challenged. Because if you make a super lot of money, your budgeting could still be way out of control. You still could be overspending on so many things when you could easily be in out of debt quicker. But maybe you're not. Maybe the budget's cut to the bone, and if it is, then you're doing great. You could still work another job too, though, if you wanted to. So always something. Always, no matter how good a situation a client is in, I can always think of something to like challenge them on and say, you're doing great, but at least take a look at this. See, if you wanted to get out of debt faster, or if you wanted to have a house faster, or if you wanted to do this, faster, you could get another job or something, whatever the thing is. I can always think of something to challenge them on to have them just think about it, if anything. Backsliding, Texas. Is that a city near you, Trey? Backsliding. This from Reasonable Durian 5313. So I've done the baby steps before, not correctly apparently. Almost to house payoff, but then I get frustrated and backslide. Why don't you slide? Yeah, I think I better slide. Here's my issue. It's that why do you get frustrated? Let's see if we find out how the frustration happens. Can't wait to find out. But basically, if you get to almost paying off your house and then you don't keep paying off your house and get to step 7, then you're a dumbass. You're dumb. Let's see. Here's my issue. I'm an entrepreneur. I don't have regular income. It comes in big chunks. Stabilizing now for a regular salary moving forward. So I get really nervous without having a ton of cash. I'm good at it somewhat. But it takes a lot of time to get going. My struggle is paying off my house in Texas. I can almost wipe it out completely and still have 3 to 5 months in an emergency fund available. Okay. However, when I do that, I only save about $1,400 per month in expenses. My property taxes and insurance are $1,500 per month. In my head/heart, I can't justify wiping out $300K in cash to gain $1,500 a month in free cash flow. Well, then you're a dumbass. Keep doing your same dumb crap, and you don't have to ask anybody about it. You can just be stupid. You can just be stupid and keep the mortgage around forever if you feel better about it. If that makes you sleep better at night, knock yourself out. Someone give me some perspective. You're being a dumbass. You're being dumb as crap. I can aggressively pay down debt, but that's I can aggressively pay down debt by that 6-7 years away. You mean but that's 6-7 years away? Okay, so see, we missed the part where we took out debt again, and what reason was that? So you can have savings. You do stuff on debt so you can have savings too. That's dumb as shit. But still only relieves 1,500 from my budget. I get the same return on the 300K in a CD at a bank. But also, if you pay off the house, you don't have a freaking house payment too, as well. So I don't know. I don't know what this person's problem is. If you don't want to do the baby steps, you don't have to. You can keep doing your dumbass crap. That is fine. People are nutty. Downtown drawing 366 auto loan help. I have a 2013 F-150 worth $7,500 and I owe $17K. I called the bank and wanted to give it back, but they want me to pay the difference. Yeah, they do. And so that's nutty too. People always jump to the I'll give it back to the bank, voluntary repo. It's because they think that's going to be the easiest thing. That might be the easiest thing, but also that's going to cost you the most money. That is dumb. That is dumb. How about you sell it to somebody, and then if you have to pay off the difference, then that's fine, but maybe. He says worth 7,500. And you owe 17K. See what it's worth at private sale. See if it says that up for private sale as well. But yeah, that's $10,000 difference, and so I don't know how you're gonna get out of that. Um, I mean, I guess you could get a personal loan for 10K, and that would be paying the difference. So let's say I can't afford the truck nor the difference. You also can't afford to just give it back or have it repoed. That's going to cost you even more money. So don't be dumb. People love to be dumb today. Time is it? Alrighty, so that's an hour. So let's see, what do we have coming up for Monday? Just starting, 25, still a baby, waking up, finally waking up financially good. No financial advice, but that's great. Now you're working the Ramsey baby steps. So we'll see if there are any problems, or they just wanted to give us an update. Difference between financial peace is that word. Financial Peace University and the Total Money Makeover. Total Money Makeover is a book title. Financial Peace University is the class. And am I doing something wrong not using my degree? Well, it depends. If you are foregoing a lot of money by not using your degree, especially after you took out a bunch of student loans and you still owe those student loans, I got a great idea. You might want to use your freaking degree and leverage the degree the same way you leveraged student loans to get the degree. So you want to leverage your degree to pay that off to get a higher paying job. So we'll find about it. And should we sell the truck? As usual, when people even bring that up, it's often a yes, because they know darn well they should. Alrighty. Everybody have a wonderful Memorial Day weekend. Once again, I'm Coach Steve Money, Ramsey Solution Certified Financial Coach. And if you, yes, you, I'm talking to you, are having money problems or you just want to make sure you're on the right track, you can schedule a free, yes, free financial coaching consultation with me at calendly.com/coachstevemoney. That's in the ticker below. Also, in the video description, email address is coachstevemoney@gmail.com, and you can email me about financial coaching questions, just finance stuff in general, or anything on my YouTube channel. Donations can go to paypal.me/coachstevemoney, alternatively to Cash App at $CoachSteveMoney, or Walmart gift card to that same email address, coachstevemoney@gmail.com. Upcoming streams, I might stream a video game this weekend. Haven't decided which one yet. Might do that. But definitely the Ramsey show, Aftershow show, Monday through Friday, following each YouTube Ramsey show at 10:27 a.m. That's the time that the Ramsey show is over, and the time that the after show starts, Eastern time, and that will be taking place for the next week. After that, my work schedule may change after that, and so then I may not be able to do one every day. May be able to do it later, and I'll probably be doing some, because of the missed after shows, I'll probably be doing some weekend answering your financial question streams. Alright, again, thanks so much for watching. Please subscribe, like, and comment. And as always, make smart financial decisions every day.